was so depressing. Blood pressure, I felt it rising. Feeling for an escape from all of my problems. Fantasizing about a
Welcome back to Now. Guys, imagine being able to turn US 100K into more than a US $1 million in 1 month. That sounds too good to be true, right? Yeah, you're thinking there's a story there. But one student from St. Mary's College, at the end of the first month in a 3-month-long competition, has achieved just this through the WizdomCRM virtual stock market game. And he's here to tell us about it along with his mother. I want to say welcome to Ethan, Ugas, and Natalie Ugas, as well as the WizdomCRM manager, Nigel Balkisoon. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning.
Welcome.
Ethan, how has this platform impacted you as a student? Tell us about it.
Showed me how to trade on the stock market. It was very helpful for later in life.
Now, this is a game, so you heard about it, and why did you think that you've wanted to do it in the first place?
Because it was giving prizes for if you had win.
Oh, they were giving prizes, right? Did it help you with your schoolwork?
No.
Oh, okay, so it was just, so you did it because it was just competitive?
Yes.
Do you see the skills that you've acquired from it being at all helpful to you in your future?
Yes, it would make the real life stock market easier to trade on.
Okay, so and Mom Natalie, tell us, because obviously he's doing this while he still has his other schoolwork to get done. What importance do you think this has when we look at financial literacy?
Well, I believe that it has taught him discipline, a lot of discipline. It has not impacted negatively on his schoolwork. Actually, he has been able to maintain his grade at school, which is very wonderful of him, because spending that much time on the stock market researching stocks, I felt that it may have affected his grades a bit, but it hasn't. He has always wanted to trade on the stock market, so I think that it will give him the financial freedom that he needs, and it will be quite easy for him to earn a passive income.
Yes. Okay, Mr. Balkisoon, let's bring you in. This very much is something that is very topical, very relevant. Lots of people I know are actually doing this on their own and not having the education to go with it. Tell us a bit about the game, please.
Yeah, hi, sure. Good morning. Good morning. Just a small correction. I am not the country manager. That is Mr. Dean Aguilera. My title is Education
Officer. Okay.
Yeah. And of course, that goes well with me because I'm also a teacher, a maths teacher.
There you go.
Okay, now, a lot of people are afraid of the stock market. In fact, in one of the very first interviews we had, the host, he uses the phrase playing on the stock market. And some people see it as a gamble. But what the game does, the game is an educational platform. So it's an investment training tool, if you will. It prepares you in a simulated, safe environment using virtual money to trade, to place trades, to learn how to place trades. Now, you have to remember that the US stock markets, they comprise about 6,000 different instruments. Not like the Trinidad and Tobago Stock Exchange that has 30 odd instruments to trade. So of course, we could probably focus in mind on all 30 something. But out of 6,000, what do you choose? I mean, it is intimidating to start because of the choice. But I think that by constantly taking part in the game, because the game is a 3-month cycle, it gives you confidence, experience, so that when you are ready to go out in the real market, I think you will definitely be more prepared. So it wouldn't be just playing or gambling. Yes.
Yes, and I know that some people have expressed concerns where you get into these games and a lot of times you're addicted to these games. Is that a concern at all on your part?
Well, I will quote my sister. She has two daughters, one at St. Joseph Convent, who should be taking part in Cycle 2. And she said, Nigel, if my daughter could become addicted to something that's educational and financially beneficial, I am all for that.
Mm-hmm. And do you think that, and with this game, do you think that as educators, because you're a teacher, that we really have not put enough emphasis on financial literacy and preparing students for their entry into the work scenario?
Well, Penny is saying we haven't put enough emphasis. I would go one step further and say we haven't put any at all.
Okay.
And our goal, our dream is that one day financial literacy will become part of the national curriculum because it's so important. It's a life skill. And sadly, I mean, okay, it's no secret that one of my favorite authors is Robert Kiyosaki, the guy that wrote the book Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yes.
And he said, yeah, we learn this from our parents. We don't learn it in school. And sadly, we learn our parents' bad habits. So it's just a vicious cycle, constantly repeating itself. So, I mean, I hope we have time to talk about Cycle 2, but one of the things we decided to do because of that fact, hey, why not open up this education to parents and also to the third pillar in the education system, teachers. So we know education is a shared partnership.
Now, I know the ministry has endorsed this scheme. Tell us, how can you enter? I know there's a fee attached as well, too. Tell us about that, please.
Yes, a nominal fee. Now, we got Ministry of Education approval because, you know, anything that you want to take to schools, to the secondary school system, it would be good if you have Ministry of Education approval. So that's an official endorsement from the ministry. And it's a 3-month cycle, and the monthly fee is $75 TT to students. And we have some specials because we decided to bring in teachers and parents. We will also offer that same low price to parents and teachers.
All right. So what are the elements of the what are the elements of the game?
Okay. There are live feeds from the 3 North American stock exchanges. All right, the New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ, and the American Stock Exchange. And students, the only thing fictitious about this game is that the students not trading with real money, which is good because it's a training environment. We want it to be safe. I mean, it's a simulation, right? And you know, technology has made simulations. You learn from simulation. I mean, you think about pilots or doctors. There are simulations where they use that to train. And it's the same thing with this. You train first, get yourself knowledgeable, get yourself financially literate, and then you're ready to go on to the real market.
All right. So as a parent, I want to get my child involved. You know, what are the steps?
Right. Okay. Now, Cycle 1, because Cycle 1 began before that letter. Now, we knew for months that the letter was coming. Okay. So we decided that, hey, let's approach schools that have greater autonomy in their decision-making process. You know, the government-assisted schools, what we call the board schools, the religious board schools. They can make their decisions to a certain extent, and we approach them and the THA. I just want to single out the THA. In fact, I think the THA was the first organization to come on board and to support the game. And so that's what we did. Now, the second cycle is going to be a little different. Now that all secondary schools are involved, it's going to be an educational district competition. So what we're going to do shortly is put into our database all the schools, all the secondary schools of Trinidad and Tobago. So it make it easy. The student goes to the website, www.virtualstockmarketgame.com, and the first thing they'll do is register, put in their school, and then, of course, that they will be allocated now to the educational district that they're in. All right. Well, I'm assuming that most students would know which educational district they go to school in, but and it's that simple.
As simple as that. And are you doing this as part of your curriculum in school, or are they doing it on their own time?
Okay, that's a good question, because one of the things that we caution students is that, listen, you don't have to, while you have online classes or face-to-face classes in school, as the case may be, you are a student. Your first job is a student. You have to be in school. You have to be in your classes. Yes. The thing about, and maybe Ethan will share this. He does his research outside hours, and he places his trade before the market opens. And the stock market allows you to do that. You do your research and you place your trades. When the market opens at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, your trades are executed. And it's that simple. You don't have to follow the market. You don't have to be online. You don't. You really don't.
Okay, well, thank you, Mr. Balkisoon, certainly helping to prepare our students with some financial literacy, very much needed in these times. Thank you, Ethan, and to Natalie Ugas for spending some time with us and telling us about this exciting game. We will be right back after this break on Now.
Woke up early this morning, life had me stressing. Things were so depressing, blood pressure felt it rising. Feeling